my gosh, Ree, I'm so happy you're here with us. Ree has been working with us. Oh my gosh, how long now?
It'll be 2 years in
2 years? Okay, wow, almost 2 years. Amazing. And I want you just to kind of tell everybody who you are and a little bit about you, background, like why you chose to like work with Evolve.
Yeah. I'm Ree, but I really, I don't know. I'm a professional. I'm a working mom. I have a daughter. She's 5 now. She just turned 5 2 weeks ago.
Wow, that's crazy.
I don't know how this happened. It's weird because she's older, but I'm not. So I don't know how,
For
like
sure.
strange. But I'm a working mom. I have a daughter. I have a husband. I'm a coach on the side, a personal trainer, and I do a little bit of nutrition, mostly with older adults, which is a fun, unique demographic.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, but I've always been a very fitness minded person. I was a high level athlete in high school. I was a distance runner. I continued distance running, half marathons, mostly into my 20s. And then um, I was in my probably mid 20s, and it was like everything was hurting. Everything was hurting. My knees were hurting, my hips were hurting. And I was like, okay, running is probably like, I feel like this is not what I need to do. And a friend of mine invited me to a CrossFit class. I got super into that. That was like 2011. It was before CrossFit was cool.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the beginning, like
Yeah.
Japanese shoes or cool outfits. Like it was, and while I don't do CrossFit anymore, I'm really grateful for that invitation because that was my like intro to weightlifting. Like before then, I didn't think women lifted weights. I could not even do 10 push-ups on my knees. Like
Wow.
I was just like wafy distance runner. And so I got really into that and I loved it. And I did that really up until I started working with Evolve. And but what I found was I worked out I trained CrossFit, I don't know, five days a week, 6 days a week. I mean, I couldn't be there enough. I'm a highly competitive person, which was good in those early years. But as I got older, I don't know, I kept pushing through because I enjoyed it. But uh, and I worked out. Last day was this Friday. I had my daughter on a Monday, and I was like, as soon as she's out, like I'm ready to go. Like we're getting back in.
Mm.
And then motherhood, like you can't you think, I mean, people tell you like, oh, things are going to change, and you're like, yeah, okay. And oh, they change.
Right.
And she was probably, I ended up having an emergency C-section, which was not the plan. My body was wrecked afterwards. I mean, wrecked. And I found a physical therapist who just specified in those, like getting that core back together,
Mhm.
that pelvic floor. And I did that for literally 12 weeks after I was cleared. I did not do anything other than do that and like go for walks. And I'm grateful for that. And then after I was clear, I'm like, all right, I'm going back. And I couldn't do it. I mean, I felt like crap. I felt like crap in the gym. I lost all of my weight, but my body looked completely different. It was like I didn't
Mm.
recognize myself.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm like looking in the mirror, I'm like, all right, I'm in the gym 5 days a week. Like I know that I'm eating clean, like because before I was with CrossFit and I was eating mostly paleo, doing the CrossFit thing. And
Right.
and I had a coach before baby that I'd worked with for years. She was great in a lot of ways, but at that season of life, she was, I was doing some local competitions. Like she was like hardcore. And I
Mhm.
tried to kind of go back with her afterwards, and it was just not a good fit because
Mhm.
she was used to the old me. And now this is a new me. This is not a me that can be wrecked every single day. This is
Mhm.
not a me that can meal prep for hours a day. Like I have,
Mhm.
I'm not getting enough sleep. I'm not, my body's unrecognizable. I'm not lifting what I'm used to lifting, and
Your
movements.
identity shifted.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
And I, so we found that that wasn't a good fit. So I was like, that's fine. I'll do it on my own. I know what I'm doing. I'm a trainer. And, I won't say that I was like flailing necessarily, but it just felt like I was never where I wanted to be.
Mm.
Like, and, I knew Ian, who one of your coaches,
Yep.
because we trained at the same gym. We both coached at the same gym. And, Ian was always just like coach to coach, like peer wise was always a wealth of knowledge. Like his,
Yes.
his movement and technique and his attention to that was so precise, and his ability to modify was really impressive. So I talked to him about little things. I knew that he worked with Evolve. Um, and after all, I'm like, you know what, maybe I will give this coach thing like one more go. Like maybe it wasn't that maybe it was just not the right fit. So I reached out and was paired with Jen, and it's been a
Yeah.
complete changer.
Yeah. So you're working with Jen. You've been working with Jen for 2 years. So she is a mom, you're a mom. Like what do you feel like she's instilled in you that you can like have a lot of good success? Because like you said, like you would try to go back to your old coach and like it wasn't really working out just because of she didn't quite understand where you were. So having somebody who understands
Huge.
that, how was that helpful to you like in your whole journey?
I think, I mean, there's so many things. It's hard to pick, even it's hard to even narrow it down to a few, but I feel like a lot of it was just having a coach that understood what it was like when, like if I didn't get my training in and I sent a message to Jen, I'm like, I planned to train today, but like I was up 5 times last night. My kid had a fever. Like I've had nothing but coffee for 4 hours. Like, I'm doing all the wrong things
Right.
and I know it, but I don't, and it was so nice to have a coach that understood that. And I knew that she understood that. So when she was like, hey, give yourself a break, like she knows that I'm a perfectionist. She knows I'm highly competitive. Like she knows this isn't my personality type. And she could give me permission to like take a breath,
Yeah.
do what you have to do for your family, do what you have to do for yourself, and know that you're going to get right back to business as soon as this passes. Like, this is not permanent. This is just a little blip. And that has probably been, if I had to pick the single most important thing that she's taught me and that I feel like I'm getting a good grip on, it's that this is like, we're playing the long game. This is a lifestyle. There is
Right.
no end date to this.
Yeah.
And sometimes life does get in the way. And
Sure.
you know, I definitely came from the like no excuses mindset,
Hmm.
and enter kids and family and you're like, oh, sometimes there's excuses and
Right.
it's real. And having someone
Yeah.
that gets that was huge. And just her like knowledge about the hormonal shifts that happen after you have a baby. And like, that was definitely, I mean, hormones were not ever something that I was ever talked to by my previous coach. And maybe because I didn't need to, I was in my 20s, like you're not thinking about that. But,
Hmm.
and having someone that understood that. And, when I was experiencing certain things, she would encourage me like, hey, have you ever thought that this might be a hormone thing? You might want to check this out. And, um, that was definitely something that was helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's so helpful, especially when it comes to that. Where are you at now? So like what successes have you had? What did you specifically come to her to help you with? And then talk to me about like the goals because the reason why, you and I are on this call right now, first of all, like we've known each other for, since you started, a little bit before you started too, like we crossed paths. But and she continues to tell me like how great you're doing, how you're eating a lot more intuitively now and still having like a really dope physique. So talk to me a little bit about the successes that you've had and like where you're at now.
So when I first came to her, I was just weighing a little bit more than I really wanted to. I felt like I was holding on to, like, I knew that I was holding on to inflammation.
Right.
And, but I wouldn't say that I was like, I don't know, I just wasn't where I wanted to be.
Sure.
And, um, the first thing that we talked about, which was honestly, it was a real hard one for me, was like, CrossFit is no longer good for me. And,
I remember that whole thing.
oh, it was awful.
I know.
And man, I mean, I didn't know how to give that up. I mean, it was like a drug. And
Wow. Yeah.
um she was, we talked a lot about like as we get older, our bodies need different things and like hormone shifts and cortisol levels and um, getting to the place where, I listened to her and trusted her, and really it was about trust. Like, what's going to happen to me if I'm not doing CrossFit 6 days a week, you know? And
Yeah.
you're going to be fine. Trust me in this. And I'm so glad that I did and followed her like specific programming. I went from working out 6 days a week and just, I mean, 100% give it all, lay on the floor tired, to really, I weight train like 3 days a week now. I do some steady state cardio 3 days a week. And like my steady state cardio now is like a long walk while my kid rides her bike. Like it's not like, I mean, sometimes I'll go and like I teach a cycling class for fun. Like that's definitely more high
Right.
intensity, but um, it's been such a shift in that way. And 2 years later, I'm leaner than I've ever been.
Oh.
If you had told me, I swear on all that is holy, if you had told me that I would have a better physique after having a baby that I did in my 20s, I would have told you there's no way in hell.
I've heard that. I've seen that with our athletes, right? And I've seen that with my friends. And it's like it's wild. Like
I'm
the
working out half
muscle is just crazy.
I'm working out half as much, really, and I'm eating probably definitely a few hundred calories more a day than I was before baby.
Hmm.
And I have definition in my core that I did not ever think was going to be possible after a baby, especially after a C-section. I feel strong. I feel good. I don't feel like, I mean, once in a while I'll push, especially when you up that weight just a little bit, you might feel a little sore the next day, but I don't leave the gym feeling like I'm wrecked for the rest of the day,
Right.
and it's been really awesome. And
Yeah.
I have friends that I was talking to a friend just the other day and she was asking me about my training. I was like, yeah, I weight train three mornings a week. Honestly, most days I'm out of there in under an hour, sometimes even 45 minutes. And she's like, you're kidding me. I'm like, no, girl, that's all I got time for. And
People think people think it's the all. People think that you have to do the 6 days a week CrossFit or the 6 days a week, 2 hours in the gym, and you don't. And you're living proof of that.
it's crazy. Like I was always a person that like I knew that the number on the scale was not like the end all be all. That wasn't the only measurement of success. And I was never necessarily preoccupied with it. But when now it's been a good indicator because, we get in our own heads and we're our own worst critics most
Sure.
of the time. And on the days that I'm like, I don't know, like maybe I haven't changed that much. And then I get on the scale, I'm like, I'm maintaining like my weight, my like stable weight range right now is lower than it was when I was 25 years old and I'm almost 39. Like it's it's
Wow.
I mean, and I'm doing it in my opinion with much less effort and much less stress. And so it's been awesome.
That's amazing.
What we're kind of working on now, and it's a hard thing for me mindset wise because I'm a perfectionist, but is learning to intuitively eat
Yeah.
because I'm scared. I'm scared. And
Right. I get it. I get it. You're somebody who likes numbers and data, and we now have to like tune in a little bit more to like our emotions and just like our gut feeling and emotions, and that can be really challenging. But the cool thing is that you have built this trust with yourself over the past couple years. So that way, like when you get into your intuitive eating, which not everyone really is a good candidate for, um, you're gonna crush it. I have no doubt in my mind.
but we've been dabbling, which has been nice. We started
Yeah.
with like, okay, we're gonna take 2 days a week. And I was like, okay, all right, I can do that. And then after we were really successful there, she was like, all right, you're ready. Like, let's do 3 days a week. And I'm like, but we've been successful there. And so I think that is kind of our goal that we're working towards is, and I think it's really more about just trusting myself and
Hmm.
learning that like I'm already doing it. So if I just keep eating the way that I'm eating,
Right.
it's just a weird mind
Yeah.
shift. And I love seeing those numbers on my fitness pal and they're all perfect, man. I'm like giving myself a gold star. And
Yeah, I love it.
yeah,
I
so
love it.
letting go of that is but it's been good and it's been nice to see like especially the last several months, the goal has just been like let's just maintain like I feel good, I like the way that I look. And knowing, I mean, this summer's been crazy. We've had holiday weekends and that I've taken untracked. And the ups and downs of my daughter getting sick or work getting stressful. And
Mhm.
um it's been so nice to see like, oh, like okay, it's working out. It's all leveling out.
Yeah.
And, it's been super awesome.
You have like so much freedom, and I think that's deep down like what everybody really wants is freedom. But freedom comes from having that structure at the beginning. It comes from being disciplined and it comes from structure. And now you're getting to the point where you have way more freedom as far as just like you don't have to like spend mental energy on like how you look, how you feel, because it's just consistent day to
There.
day. It's
Yeah.
super cool.
it's there, and it's definitely what I needed. And I feel like it was in the beginning it was, and I think Jen would probably tell you the same thing. It was definitely a hard shift for me to like let go of some of
Sure.
my old habits, stuff that worked for me in my 20s but doesn't work now, and just admitting that. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't know, it's been awesome. I'm thankful for Evolve, and I feel like I'm like spreading the gospel. Like
Yeah, please
I meet
do.
people in the gym and they're asking me questions. I'm like, I know who you need to talk to.
Please do. Yeah, 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 you're good at that. Well, speaking on that, just really quickly, what would you say to somebody who was, hesitant, about investing into coaching, even
Yeah.
maybe like they're a fitness professional and they can kind of do it on their own, or what do you think about that?
I would say it's hard to do it on your own. I mean, I coach other people and I still can't coach myself. Left to my own devices, I'll fludge on my reps, or I'll be like,
Mhm.
that's good. And I don't know why human nature is that way, but I think it is for most of us. So I would say if you're a coach, then see it as an investment in what you're doing professionally. And
Mm,
as just a person, as a mom, I would say as a mom, the hardest thing that I think every mom I know struggles with is like investing in yourself, because you're giving. All you do from the time this baby is born is give. You give to the baby, you give to your husband, and you have to remember that you are worth giving to as well. And
hmm
yes, coaching is an investment, it's expensive, but is it worth it? Like, is it worth it to stay in this place where you don't feel like yourself anymore? Or is it worth the money to invest in someone that can help you get back to a place where you look in the mirror and you're like, there she is. There
mm
she, like the girl that I was is still there. And I would say invest the money and give it, trust the process and commit to it. I think that's the biggest,
Yeah,
is just deciding you're to trust the process, trust your coach, even if it makes you nervous, or even if
right,
you might have to give up something.
right.
Just trust it, and I don't know, commit to it and do it for yourself. And
Yeah.
for kids, I feel like this would be my last plug for motherhood, but you owe it to your kids to show them what it looks like as a mom to a daughter. Like, I want her to know, like, she should always take care of herself. She should always
Mm,
prioritize herself. And
yes.
so, but like, be strong, be yourself, be 100% in your life. And if
hmm
I don't model that, where is she going to learn that?
Mm, perfect. Mic drop.
Oh,
Great. It's great. It's true. I mean, my dad very much did that for me. I remember when I was younger, like one of my very first memories, I was in the garage gym working out with him when I was like in first, second grade. I remember those things. And so
yeah,
here I am today, right? And so where could, she be in, 10 years,
yeah.
15 years helping other people maybe and obviously helping herself. So that's really, really cool.
I love it. We have like a small garage gym set up, and my husband works out. He does his own kind of thing. We do a little different things, but he's into
Mhm.
it. And it's so funny because we'll do workouts together as a family. And man, she's excited. I'll be like, hey, do you want me to put on Elsa? And she's like, no, I have to work out too. I'm like, yeah, you do. And she'll come out, we have like an empty little PVC pipe, and she'll pretend to do bench presses. And
Oh, that's
we
so
got her
cute.
these little 1 pound dumbbells, and she does dumbbell
Perfect.
snatches. I'm like, this is what it's about.
This is what it's about. Amazing. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on here. I really hope that, and I think that it will inspire a lot of moms, especially who feel that identity shift and just like kind of feeling a little bit lost and wanting more freedom ultimately. So you are a great testament to that. So thank you.
I hope they do it. They should do it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for coming on.